Greetings! So here is my second Apple II game submission for the Retrospectiva BASIC competition. It's called the Deadly Orbs, and yes, they do live up to that name. They are very deadly. It took about 35 hours of actual coding and testing to complete this, most of which I did last week after work each night. Stayed up way too late doing this thing, but I really got into it. And a lot of the time was actually spent, testing and fixing my own sloppy code, which is nothing new. I'm not confident enough to program the whole thing without testing it along the way, so that accounted for a lot of the time. So anyway, about this game, you play as this knight, and you have to kill all of the orb-shaped aliens. There's going to be one per level, so you just get the sword and stab it. And the controls are pretty simple. You can go left, right, and then you can jump left, right. You can't jump straight up though, so whatever direction you're facing, you're going to jump that way. And so the aliens are obviously going to get increasingly difficult, and they're going to start moving in more irregular patterns. Floppy disks represent extra lives, so there'll be a couple of those throughout the game, so definitely worth grabbing. Actually, the floppy disk is the only unoriginal piece of programming in this game. I stole it from the Beagle Brothers Apple Mechanic disk just because I thought it was too cool and I had to use it somehow. Everything else, though, I drew completely pixel by pixel. At the suggestion of a few people, I did use shape tables this time around to draw all of the characters. Shape tables are basically the Apple II equivalent to sprites, so you construct all the graphics within a table and load them into memory and just draw them on the screen. This saved me a lot of time when I was programming the character animations, and you can also rotate and scale the graphics, which came in quite handy. I also use shape tables for the on-screen text. Now you do want to recognize the patterns that these orbs travel and shoot in if you want to survive very long. Eventually there's going to be some random elements, so they're going to be less predictable. So there is going to be a little bit of luck involved in winning the game. Now the game does run pretty slow, so you might want to speed it up to about 1.5 megahertz if you're using an emulator. You could also play this on an Apple IIgs, but it plays, in my opinion, just way too fast, especially in the later levels. I mean, keep in mind that you move at 5 pixels per frame, and the orbs, at first they only move 2 pixels per frame, but by the last one in level 12, he's moving at 12 pixels per frame, so he's almost, well, 2.5 times faster than you. Actually, even this is a little bit too fast. I'm going to move it back down to 1 megahertz, the way it was meant to be played. So there you go, the Deadly Orbs. I'll post a link for the game in the description, and let me know if you find any bugs or if you have suggestions on my next game, which I'll probably do one more for this competition. So anyways, thank you for watching.